Josh McDowell was a Christian apologist who was well known for speaking on American university campuses in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And he tells the story of being on a major U.S. university campus and speaking to a history class, and the head of the history department sat in on his lecture. And McDowell typically started off his lecture very provocatively by saying there's more evidence for the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth than for any other event in antiquity. And he waited, and the professor took the bait and responded saying, "That's ridiculous. How could you say such a thing?" To which McDowell responded, "Well, what test would you use to measure that?" He got the professor a little bit back on his heels, and he followed up by saying, "Tell me this, sir, do you believe that Julius Caesar fought the Gallic Wars?" The Gallic Wars were fought by Caesar in leading the Roman army about 55 years before the birth of Christ in the area that's currently France around the Rhine River. And the story is that Caesar fought and never lost a battle in the Gallic Wars. So he asked a question, "Do you believe that Caesar fought the Gallic Wars?" To which the professor responded, "Of course I do. Every historian believes that." McDowell said, "Well, the reason you believe that, sir, is that there's only one historian who recorded that, Julius Caesar himself. He wrote before his death in 44 BC. The oldest manuscript that we have today is 950 years after the time that he died. So he's the only historian who recorded it. There's such a major gap between when he lived and our oldest manuscript. How do you know that the story didn't change in all of that period?" By contrast, he went on to talk about the manuscript evidence for the life of Jesus. There are 5,725 known manuscripts in the Greek language alone, handwritten manuscripts, that talk about Jesus or the life of Jesus. And the gap between the time when Christ died and the oldest of the manuscripts we have now is within a generation. Now, those are just fragmentary manuscripts, but there are others that are entire, that are within 160, 170 years of the time of Christ. So the evidence to support the life of Christ, the resurrection of Jesus, is significantly greater than any other event in antiquity.